Alright, hey everyone. It may actually be after this event leaves. I'm not sure. But we're here to do EH's event. But first, a notification appeared. We got details on the next one. Let me read this real quick. What? Really? You're getting another version? I wonder if that has anything to do with the story. And you're fire? And apparently, Privity and Vesti and Viper and Sora get okay. Clay too. Interesting. A bunch of new fits on the way. Oh. And that's the story? Well, something tells me that might not be as important. Oh, and Privity's is a gotcha. Okay. Well, I know I was just saying that I need to do all the events, and if things are going according to plan, you have seen me do the Arcane Archive. There are some events I can still skip, and I might need to because, again, I'm trying to balance some things. But this won't be one of them. Let's get started. Oh, actually, before I get started, let me use some of these real quick. Because all I need is 10 more, and dang it. And I can use these vouchers again. But I want someone gold. Can I get someone gold before we start? I won't go too ham. And yeah, I'm gonna stop here actually. Nah, it's a special event. One more, at least 3. There we go. We always gotta do 3 strikes. And first one, Tetra. Okay.
Hey, sir. Will you listen to my music?
Noise. That is both good and... But I'm trying to complete others. But at the same time, Noise is still one of the characters I use the most. And nothing should happen to you, so... This'll only help me out.
I've grown a little, right?
Yeah. In fact, I was just doing hard mode before. Yeah, you're now my second strongest. I'll get to new you up. But anywho. Thinking about it though, if Vesti does come up next, I may burn some more stuff because that's a pretty important character I'm missing. Anywho, let's say that for later. For now. Let's see what this is all about. Oh, right, yeah, I've already completed all the missions. Except the last one. So, all we gotta do is look at the records for now. So, let's get started. I move this over, and it looks like we're starting in current time. They're coughing. Your throat hurts. Does anyone clean around here? Where are you? Besides the outer rim. Yeah, it'll only make it worse. Thanks, boss. I sincerely hope I don't see Crow in this. We might. Just get myself prepared. There have been sightings of dangerous people coming and going around here. You look around the area. You see a whole bunch of dust, but no signs that anyone's actually... Yeah, I would think that would be signs of that people haven't... It's been abandoned. There aren't even any light fixtures. But if they have eyewitnesses, then... Stuff written all over the wall. There's literal writing on the wall. Oh, I get it. What is this? It's Covered in words written in red. Oh, it's... So they knew EH was gonna come here? And what's that in the center? Light is alright, heavily ascension. Could be. Hard to say. Thought you already taken care of all that? I did. Now it looks like a little investigation is warranted. I'll handle it. That makes sense. Stare at the wall, filled top to bottom with writing. Yeah, it's meant for you. Okay, so that gave us to the start of the event. Oh, and yeah, I was wondering how Ingrid knows a lot of people. I mean, that's what you're supposed to be as a good business person, CEO. But still. Well, but Mustang knows a lot. Honestly, the only one that doesn't, and I think it's just because of her personality, is just Suyin. Suyin just drives people away. But Ingrid and Mustang are actual seasoned CEOs, so yeah. Oh, that's us. Never mind, what's going on? Well, but she does know EH. Before she turned EH into a Nikke. Terrorist group from the Outer Rim. When did this take place? Of course, they were behind a lot of terrorist attacks in the Ark. Yes, that part. And again, I'm realizing that my recaps probably help, so I'll keep refreshing or bringing up past events. That hole that Crow blew in the Ark is what allowed a lot of Raptures and then eventually Nihilister to come into the Ark, and then Dorothy came after, defeated Nihilister supposedly, and then that's where that whole situation happened, where Nihilister freed Indivilia and Chatterbox, and Dorothy, Rappy fought them off. Red Hood took over Rappy's body and came back, unintentionally, and events unfold from there. Like I said, if there was a time I really wish I would have started, it was that point. I do. Well, I'll say I don't for the people in the back. It'd be good of you to know, though. It was EH who founded Heavily Ascension. Okay, they're really acting like I don't. Which is fair. I see. Why are you oh, that's all you're gonna say? After the attack on the Ark, EH expressed a desire to atone for her sins. So that's why, once again, I say EH. EH genuinely had good EH was someone I thought truly was trying to do right, but going about it the wrong way. Crow and Viper. Crow was just crazy, and honestly, I haven't actually touched upon it, but I don't blame Jackal as much as I do Viper and Crow. I'll say that much. It doesn't seem like Jackal can make the, most logical of reasons. But Crow, absolutely. Anywho, but that's why I'm okay with EH. As part of the deal, she was forbidden from leaving the Outer Rim. A bomb was placed around her neck and she became the leader of Exotic, agreeing to dismantle Heavily Ascension herself. Those who left the group under EH orders were spared their lives, while those who didn't were punished for the terrorist attack, and Heavily Ascension was thereby declared disbanded. I suppose that's fair, because I was gonna say EH is still alive, but she wanted to atone. The others who did were also spared, and those who didn't were punished. Yeah. Yeah, daggone. I really feel like I should have said I do, but again, for people who don't know, as I didn't actually record that, it helps. There's an issue. Since then, the remnants of Heavily Ascension were quiet, or at least we hadn't seen... Oh wait, actually I didn't know that last part. Yeah. At least we hadn't seen any signs of them. Recently, though, we've received intel they started moving again. So the ones that you forgave... Light is alright, Heavily Ascension. I feel like that's a frame job. Yeah. But we also can't rule out the possibility that remnants of the group are still around. If so, EH's report of dismantling Heavenly Ascension may have been false, a ruse meant to protect what remains of their group. At least that's one theory. Also fair. Again, knowing EH, I don't think she'd do that, but yeah. Honestly, this sounds like a 6-0 plot. It's not unreasonable for the central government to come to that conclusion. After all they see when they look at EH is the former head of a terrorist organization. Again, that's fair. That's fair. That's why they're asking for me to look into what's really going on with her. Do you think she lied? I don't know, I can't say. I don't want to give my opinion. Yeah, I think you have an idea. Besides, you're not fit to judge. And what do you mean by that? Of course you're not gonna tell us. You've earned your secrets, though. I can't just demand, you spill your life story. But I am curious. You can't just drop a line like that. But alright. You're one of the victims of the attack, but you also have a long history of treating Nikkes without prejudice. Nah, I actually disagree, alright? We do treat them with prejudice. It's just a positive prejudice, alright? There is no way, shape, or form. Again, people die in this game. And the stakes are about to go up tremendously. I wasn't saying to kill Liverin, but someone like that, I think literally Liverin was responsible for 6-0 even getting as far as 6-0 did. Without literally the abilities of a heretic, the arc would have been fine from the inside. Because actually, now that I think about it, I think that's probably, if people know what 6-0 is and that 6-0 can't hurt them, then that's truly the only thing, because you got Enoch in control of anything that's crucial. All 6-0 can do is just put up a tantrum. Oh, aside from Mist, but they can just make sure Mist never comes back. Anywho, I was just trying to say we sometimes are too nice on them, in my opinion. All right, I'll meet with her. And yeah, you had to be in your new form because EH is... Actually, is this the first event that Rappy has been in that's not voiced while she's fused? It might be. Yeah, I was asked to. We were able to get in touch with her. No, she's not answering any messages or calls. That's not good. Whatever's really going on, this whole situation is suspicious. I advise to keep your guard up. Regardless of what EH intended, something's already in motion. You can't do as you always done and blindly trust someone. Yeah. See, that's what we've done. All right, blindly trust people because they're a Nikke, and that's not what we should be doing. Don't worry. It's dangerous to go alone. Yeah, I was like, honestly, if you're here, that adds a lot more importance to the event. We're fairly well known now. Even so, it's better than being defenseless. I just don't want to provoke them. Yeah, honestly, if Rappy... Another reason Rappy can't come is because then things are cake. Again, if you're not having heretic level weapons or the deep members who apparently are now a part of us. Well, unofficially, but Neon's is like their commander, their ruler now. So by default, I no longer have anything to fear about Rappy falling. Then that means Rappy's almost untouchable inside the arc. I mean, there are still some skilled individuals, but it'd be a tough fight. True, but I don't want to escalate this and drag innocent people into it. I don't think going alone is strategically a good idea. I contact someone else. I'm worried. There's no way I would bring... No. I'm not worried. There's no way we would bring Crow. People know who Crow is too. That's exactly who I mean. You don't mean who I think you mean. You don't. Well, the only other people I could think of would be the Underworld Queens. If we're talking about the Outer Rim. Oh, well, I thought they would. So EH said not to come along, but we just brought them anyways. Okay, well, they would have been my first choice. I just thought they were out of the story. Viper. It's been a while. I'm still trying to see when this takes place. I just haven't been able to reach EH. I don't mind the reason. Yeah, there's a difference between these two. There's a difference between these two. Like, you could, like, look at their faces. One is full of intelligence. Jackal's just Jackal. Yeah. Thanks for coming out. Don't mention it. Yeah, I am. Wanted to ask EH about it. Been tracking them ever since we found signs of their activity. You've been tracking them too? Yeah, that's why I thought you were off the table as a choice. It was you. But a few days ago, after we found a certain wall, she said she'd look into it on her own. We haven't been able to reach her since. That's another thing. You're technically a part of her team now. So, yeah, it was just weird how they did that. Nope. Have you tried going out and looking for her? Did you? Alright, I see. Can you show me the wall you found before she disappeared? Of course. It's deep inside the outer rim though, are you sure you're up for it? Hasn't been upkept for a long time, to the point where there aren't even any lights. It's dark and dangerous. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, if the in a sense they explain why Rappy shouldn't be here, but nevertheless, I still wish Rappy was here. That's like there are people who can take me out. Oh no. I should have the Queen Gene by now, I think. So it doesn't matter. Here I was so guarded earlier. Tentatively, I suppose. Yeah, it would only end badly for you if you did. Are you gonna and let me make this clear. All right, I didn't want to say it before, but now that we've reached this far, there is no scenario where Viper becomes an option in my future. All right, that's just me. But it's like when you got everybody else who are, haven't been terrorists, I don't even see why I would entertain this. I get the idea we're supposed to be our faceless pro tag, and that we like all of them, but that would be just me. Of course not. I won't do anything like that again. Again, that's a difference between forgiveness and then wanting to spend the rest of your life with someone. Not now or ever. All right. I'll trust you. Thank you. Yeah. Now, as a sign of our trust and commitment, how about a handshake? No. Why? A handshake? That's sus. Even if it was somebody I trust. I wonder if they're pulling a prank on me. I mean, I honestly wouldn't have said that, so. All right. Take your hand. And that just gave you what you wanted. You're all charged up now? Okay. Let's keep it going. We're led deeper into the outer rim. There really aren't any streetlights around. It's dark, huh? They never developed this area. That's why there aren't any lights. That makes sense from what I've heard before. It's alright, the entire outer rim used to be like this. It was already dark enough without the Dome of Eternity. The Dome of Eternity. I feel like I should know what that is. Why am I blanking? EA's changed that. Oh, because I think I just read a book with a dome, and yeah, no, I don't know if I know what that is. People shouldn't live in a place this dark, and so dug through the piles of scraps to find light bulbs, ran electrical lines through the buildings that were still standing, and installed street lights all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, see that's why I'm saying EH was different. And yeah, I just caught that. No, I did not know that. No. Oh yeah, it was Elysian Harbor. That's right. That's right. What? Why didn't I? Well, because one, I forgot EH's actual name. You're not saying what I think you're saying, are you? Sounds like that's not the case. Is there more I should know? Yeah, that's true. Well, then don't tease me. See, I'm talking to the writers now. It's like you're mentioning that. Yeah, he's like, hey, we're gonna tease you with that. Then we're gonna tell you later. Just tell me now, darn it. Well, and again, no, from the context of the story, it makes sense. I should hear from EH. But why'd you have to tease me before EH was here? All right. You two seem to be on pretty good terms with her. With EH? It's not like we were strangers before. Yeah? Exactly. Once she actually became our boss, though, that's when we really understood why people liked her. Boss treats you well. Yeah, you cannot do that. Exactly. You don't like that. You want to chomp stuff, but she said no. And yeah, stomach aches are not good. Yeah, see, this is why like Jackal is responsible for things too, but I feel like that like in court where they say is it in the insanity plea? I feel like that's Jackal is the reason why that exists. I didn't really expect that. After what happened in Attack on the Ark, I figured things would be more strained between you. You think so, right? I did too, so when EH first became our boss, I flat out asked her, and then... That's how you asked? Did you volunteer? Well, but to be fair, EH is assuming, from EH's perspective, she's already the worst kind of criminal. So any other criminal who's trying to work their way in redemption, she'll probably be kind to. Oops. But we stabbed you in the back. Are you really okay working with us? Yeah. Very impressive. Unless you're here to try and reform us former criminals. Is that it? Of course not. My hands aren't clean. Yeah. Yeah. That's it. You are different. And that's exactly the response I expected. Ideals and intentions don't make a mistake any less wrong. Hey, what do I always say, people? Some of the worst things done are done with good intentions. But in this case, it wasn't just the bad intentions. It was also how it was done. I think that's also a big part of it. Because clearly there's a difference between, you want to take somebody out, you bring all the stuff there, then you change your mind at the last minute, but it goes off anyways. Versus someone who wants to take somebody out and goes through with it. It laughs about it, celebrates it. And yeah. One, I would obviously give or be more willing to work with for a chance of redemption than the other. I have no intention of lecturing you two as though I'm somehow innocent. I joined Exotic because this squad is the only one operating in the Outer Rim, and I figured I can protect this place. I have no resentment towards you and no desire for revenge. We can't change what happened and now we're all paying our own price. That's all there is to it. Nah, that's exactly who I thought she was. I suppose I don't mind that comparison. Because if EH hadn't done that, well, we'd have a different conversation. But anyways. Okay. You too. Likewise. And that was that. I suppose I would say that. I guess I could, if I looked at things like that, actually makes things a lot easier. You can tell somebody's heart through the actions that they do. So I should also start incorporating actions and intentions. Or how those intentions are carried out. Or actions are carried out. Even if you have some good intentions, how things turn out. Or how you go about doing things can make a difference. Despite everything we did, that's why I don't think she's trying to build. Yeah, no. Nah, I didn't need you to tell me that. Don't worry. That's why I'm here. Yeah. Okay, Pioneer. So, let me see. We reached the end. Or, I can see all the events now. Rundown house. As we enter, our footsteps stir up a cloud of dust. You'll never get used to this dust. You hate this place? Then why don't you wait near the entrance? It shouldn't be as bad there. It's the last place you saw EH? That's right. See the wall? You shine a light on the wall. And yeah, we see the words. Words of resentment. That makes sense. Yeah, the similar phrase, which doesn't prove anything. So this is what she saw. Shadow was a message meant for her. Probably someone who resents her from breaking it. Yeah, that makes sense. She's a target. And she's been unreachable ever since. She might be in danger. Yeah, that's possible. And that was true. I mean, things are changing nowadays, but yeah. Especially since aren't Enix Eternity and Endless still around? That is possible. Let's check the house one more time for any clues. Oh, alright. Now that we've had our serious conversation, your nose is clogged up from all the dust and your throat hurts. Just use your eyes. Okay. However, yeah, that makes sense. Nothing here. Maybe you didn't come back. We can stop. This isn't good. Yeah, that's not a solid plan. For now, let's step outside. Staying in here can't be good for us. Yeah, let's go. What's wrong? We see something at the entrance. Something catch our attention. Light is alright, heavily ascension. I notice a small groove etched into the word light. What's this? What was that? Huh? There's a secret passage? Oh. Okay. Where the heck are we now? I look around. Room is pitch black. You're not Viper or Jackal? Who's there? What the heck? Okay, well, again, like I said, no one should be able to take me out. I think. So much blood. Hear someone's voice. Come on, wake up. So you were trapped down here. Yes, I do. Did they try to kill me? Try not to move. Looks like I hurt my head. Yeah. By who? Yeah, I think someone tried to take me out. Yeah, I'm not that badly hurt. Shouldn't push ourselves. Lost a lot of blood. The wound looks pretty bad. Or do we not have it now? Because the only way I could be completely sure is if a niece was there too, which she wasn't. Because we got it somewhere between when Rappy unlocked her new form and Anise unlocked her new form. Actually, thinking about it, this could have taken place while we were still at the Ark. And EH also had a wardrobe change too. Anyways, I don't question it too much. Mind if you take a look at the wound? You're wearing gloves, right? Yeah, careful not to touch. Oh, right, because our blood is Vophouse. All right. Yeah, okay, we're good. Yeah. What's wrong? Nothing. Doesn't look like we've sustained any other injuries. So that means I needed to know, because I need to know if somebody tried to take me out or not, or they just tried to knock me out. There's a difference. And yeah, that's fair. But I'm pretty sure I'm okay. I'm starting to feel colder. Brr. What am I doing here anyway? Like, the others didn't follow us? Looking for you. Yeah. I came here to confirm whether you're connected to it. Whether I'm connected? Well, actually more the opposite, to prove your innocence. But yeah, the central government suspects you. They think you never really disbanded Heavenly Ascension, that you falsified your report. I see. Yeah? And then I'm just some criminal who switched sides to survive. And now they want Ingrid to look into it. Yes. Yep. Honestly, don't they have more people? Like, at this point, we're too high profile. We should only be getting the most serious of tasks. Which I guess that is serious if you had falsified the report. Yeah. How so? You're sorry? You're connected to this? But still, I mean, that's not really your fault. He resents me from what I did and considers me a traitor. You did put it in Heavenly Ascension, so it's not like you don't understand where he's coming from. Yeah, you know who it is? Ah, they use sleeping gas on you. And the dude was gonna use a rock on someone else? I don't think that would have worked on a Nikke. Well, it might have worked on a Nikke. Yeah. He panicked? Yes, he did. You figured? After hitting us, he must have realized we're connected to the central government. Ah, all right. Nah, it's okay. We have a better idea what's going on now. Yeah, you're tangled up something messy as well. It doesn't. In that case, why'd you form them? Because I just want to know. You've been fighting for the rights of the Outer Rim. What I don't get is why your resistance took on the form of terrorism and what led to your subsequent change of heart. Oh yeah, we weren't there. That's why I want to know more about how it all started. I think it'll help me judge better. Which reminds me, we still gotta see the judges. All right. You've been dragged into this mess. The least you deserve is to hear the full story. Goes back pretty far, though. Okay. Do you know what your name used to be? Yeah. That's right. Elysian Harper. That was my name until I chose to cast it aside. Yeah, I didn't make that connection. It was a name that came with a lot of weight. Really? So you were like Suyin. How does that even work? Like, why is it even something you can inherit? The heir? That would mean you and Ingrid are... Well, my mind just got blown. I did know your name before, but I never even thought to consider that. The heir to Elysian. Oh yeah, no wonder you are an Elysian unit. And now, in a strange twist of fate, you've become a Nikke of Elysian. Okay, yeah, what happened? You're the younger one. No wonder Ingrid was like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a roll with sis, no matter what. Your mother was the former CEO. Really? That also surprising because Ingrid was around for a long time from what I've seen. I need ages. I need timelines on when people were alive. Yeah. Your family. You guess? I guess that makes sense. What kind of company do you think Elysian is? I'm gonna say the first one. Yeah, of course. It's an arms manufacturer that focuses on tactical excellence. They do. Macilis is more like cutting edge technology, and then Tetra's entertainment. The military ones should be in Elysian. That wasn't always the company's top priority. Power. Do tell. The power of humanity. When after the attack, humans abandoned service and fled to the Ark. My mother believed that in order to avoid extinction, only the strong must survive, so humanity could grow stronger and evolve. Okay, Esther. Actually, hold up. That would make a lot of sense.
That's what happens to the weak, right?
Yes, Esdeath. This situation is exactly the same as it was when your mother was eaten by the danger beast. Make no mistake, this is how the world works.
Especially with Esdeath's attire. Yeah. Anywho. Nah, it's different. Ingrid believes humanity must use technology to defeat the Raptors, but she's not so fixated on this. So yeah, sole pursuit of strength. Mother was different. She pursued strength to the point of... Okay, hang on. Let me recheck again. You have the same... Oh yeah, you have the same mother. Oh, of course, because the father doesn't matter. He probably will never enter the picture. Now I've got questions. That's why she wanted the strongest of her children to be her successor. I have a hard time believing you weren't stronger than Ingrid, though. Yeah, okay, that's what I was thinking. Oh. Dang, you know what? I want you to be free of this fate. Oh, no, hold up. I'm about to say, Ingrid has done a fantastic job from what I can see. Like, if I had to rank CEOs, I have nothing bad to say about Ingrid. Still, you had such a fate for you. And you're a good person. If it weren't for a certain incident, I would have inherited Elysian as planned. What incident? Did you? I had no idea. Of course, it was the central government's proposal that initiated the process, but Elysian spearheaded the construction. And that long ago believed the weak were meant to be cold. Now that's a mess death activity.
What happened to my father was regrettable, but it doesn't change the fact that he was a weak man.
So that's what made you like to torture people?
Oh, no, I've always enjoyed that.
Wow. Now, low key, I just want to know I just want a photo of. That's not important. That's not important. What's important is the backstory. She knew people were living there in secret. She used to say they lacked gratitude for being allowed to live in the Ark instead of squandering their lives and. You know, I don't know how the Outer Rim got started, but that is an interesting question. Like, I would think the slums exist now, or I would like to think the Ark was small enough that the slums shouldn't even exist. Well, the Outer Rim. Especially with the type of people they were even allowing to enter the Ark in the first place. It seemed like only the rich and powerful were going in there, or people who were needed. So how did it... Oh, anyways. But apparently we're getting part of that answer now. You really thought the people in the Outer Rim were all like that, but then during the final inspection of the wall... Okay... That's when you learn for yourself. The Outer Rim wasn't merely a trash dump. Just like the Ark, there are people living there, real people, not garbage. I wonder, was that your... Okay, they really do need to make this come back, though. Like, why have... If your appearance had changed right when you became Nikke, then I can understand. But now I'm trying to see, what does that say on your... I can't read what those words are. Seems like almost secondhand garment and something care. Anyways, I was trying to see if they always have been showing us that you were the successor. What are you doing? What's wrong? It sparkles and it's pretty. That was dynamite? Wanted to make light. Everyone says there's no light. Oh, you got that away from them, right? Is it not allowed? It's... What are kids like you doing here in the first place? Where are your parents? How did you even... This is our home. This is your home? Mom's here too. She's inside over there, I think. Children timidly glance at the fuse. Are we not allowed to light a fire here? I'd really like to see more pretty lights. It's not allowed. You could get hurt if you're not careful. We could use this instead. Pick up a sparkler that had once fallen to the side of a trash pile and then lights it. Oh, they had one nearby? That was convenient. Okay. These are the only things you should be lighting, okay? That's when the thought hit me. People live here, I can't just ignore that. Nah, see. You. That's what you should do. Proposal for improving the living conditions of the Outer Rim residents. Oh! So, what is that? Franca? I'm guessing that's your mother. I sent you on such an important assignment so you could learn about what being my successor entails, but now it looks like you came back more foolish than when you left. Who are the residents of the Outer Rim? There aren't any humans there last I checked. Okay, nah. Now, we had to... How long ago was this? It was before Neon. And you were doing this before Princess was even in the Outer Rim. For Anderson took out VTC. I seriously need timelines. That entire place is filled with garbage and nothing else. After being granted the privilege of escaping the surface and seeking refuge underground, they chose to hold themselves up in that dump. It doesn't, not all of them, really view those things as people, and that tells me everything I need to know about how poor your judgment is. Yeah, it's true that adults who went there were weak and make foolish decisions, as you say, but those children never had a choice. That doesn't matter. Nah, see, you gotta go. You gotta go. What kind of logic is that? In fact, is that what started you on this path? I'm wondering why there was even, like, she's training her as her successor. How old is she? Especially with Evergreen, I would think she can live over hundreds. So their lives are meant to be anything more than that. And they'll find a way to survive to get stronger and make it out of there. If they can't, simply means they were... Nah! That's straight up some S-Stuff mentality. That's the law of nature. Said it many times before. Humanity as a whole must become strong. Only by casting aside the weak and strengthening ourselves can we survive in this world with inhuman monsters run. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, all right? There's not a single thing a human can do against the queen using Lilith's spot. Nah, nothing. In fact, what you going to do if you have fought liberally when a giant wave just comes towards you? That is the most foolish thing. Well, I mean, they could get powers, I suppose, eventually, but just... They're still just children. If you really can't understand, you aren't qualified to be the heir of Elysian. Don't become weak, Harper. Heir of the great Elysian must not be swayed by pity for the weak. Be clear in what you keep and what you cast away. For the sake of a strong human race, the weak must be discarded. Otherwise, humanity will never grow stronger. Like I'm saying, it almost sounds like you taking a case for yourself that you need to go. It's only through strength that humans can avoid falling behind in this inverted ecosystem and accomplish the great feat of reclaiming the surface. Okay? It was then that a thought came to your mind. If we only pursue strength in an attempt to avoid extinction, and in the process we discard humanity, can we really still be regarded as human? When that thought hit me, I couldn't take it any longer. For days on end, I kept asking myself, what is true strength? And I finally came to a conclusion. Being Elysian's heir meant I wasn't allowed to think like that. Then you would give up your position. I'm guessing Ingrid was big sis? Because, I mean, it doesn't necessarily... Height doesn't mean everything. It doesn't mean everything. Are you leaving? Are you really leaving? It's weird to see you, like, from how I've seen you this entire time. That you just chilling with Ingrid in this high-tech place. I mean, your attire makes sense. You clearly were trained for battle. And to be that exact peak humanity. Like, you are, like, you look like you're strong, but still. And not gonna lie, Ingrid kind of got noodle arms. I don't think there was too much of a competition. Mother's okay with it. No, she was angry. Called me pathetic and wouldn't let me take anything with me, saying maybe I'd get some sense knocked into me and come back. How old is Harper then? Because, again, Harper was around and told Ingrid about Neon.
The central government was transporting someone. A girl with white hair and glasses. She seemed important. I figured it'd be better if you were the one to take her. She could be useful to Elysian.
You spoke to Ingrid?
Yeah. Hurry. You won't have much time.
I see.
Thanks, Ingrid.
Huh. But the most important thing is that Harper's human. And being in the Outer Rim, you couldn't have had Evergreen, so... Yet Ingrid clearly looks older. Anywho, you've got nothing aside from these weapons. Do you really want to save that place that badly? Yeah. Going to return to the Outer Rim into a place where people can live like human beings, and then I'm going to show the entire world. I'll prove that there are real people living there in a place that everyone else calls a dump, and they can no longer ignore them. Yeah, there's just more proof when I was saying that's why I was willing to forgive you. And to Mother, I'll prove that the strength that humanity actually needs to pursue doesn't come from some extreme version of survival of the fittest, but the strong need to help the weak and give them the chance to get stronger so that everyone can grow together. And that it's only by retaining our humanity that we can truly become strong. Which I think also fits, because Neon was definitely one of those weak. And now, thanks to Harper's actions, we now got one of the strongest people in the arc. So, that's the strength of humanity that I'm after, and what I want to prove to everyone. Things may not go the way you want. I'm not trying to say that everything Mother said was right. There are definitely those who have given up and only taken from others rather than making effort themselves. Yeah, that does make sense. I suppose those people would be sent to Outer Rim initially. If you start preaching your ideals to such people, they might take advantage of you. Yeah, and they did. There are those who learn you come from the argument that you were Legion's heir, and out of jealousy, they'll threaten you and try to use violence. You won't be able to rest even for a second. Yet, in spite of all that, you still want to hold on to your ideals. Well, because of violence, unless they're Nikke's armed like soldiers in the Surface Reclamation Wars, you think that they would be weaker than Ingrid, which means you would have no problem? Again, I guess that is... No, I would still expect some beasts to be in the Outer Rim, but... Yeah. That is true. It's a valuable lesson Mother hammered into us as children. I know what you're trying to say. Outer Rim will be dangerous. I realize not everyone there will be good like the children I saw, but even so, I refuse to give up. Unfortunately, that means I won't be able to help you. I know you want us to work together on your plan to make humans and Nikke stronger through technology and tactics. You'll be looking forward to watching Ingrid from afar as she creates Elysian's finest forces. She's doing a pretty good job. Although, let's be clear, Rappy was a cheat code. And yeah, Deep had their hands on all three of my current teammates. Those are cheat codes. The Absolute Squad, who... Oh, is Rappy already... Does that track? So, Rappy's already in the Absolute Squad. Which means... Okay, so that's at least a bit of a timeline. Rappy's already been made a Nikke into Elysian, so this happens after Rappy trained with Red Hood. Which should be a decent amount of time later, I think. But it happens before Neon. So I guess Neon's without a doubt the youngest member of the team then? I mean, it makes sense. And the Extrinsic Squad who will protect others from Berserk Nikkes. That's right, they are from Elysian. Alright, really hoping you prove to Mother that you're right. Wait, so then Ingrid made Rappy into a Nikke when her mother was still in charge? Take care of yourself, you too. That's interesting. Just to point out, and just because you're right here, this is Extrinsic. Yeah. It's just these two. That's it. That's just them in a different form. And Maiden in particular has a weaker version of Siren's abilities. Wait, so then, hang on. What about D and K? What company were they from again? Yeah, Elysian. Both of them? Yeah. Yeah. No, the companies do make sense. The companies do make sense. Sort the Bacillus people again, just so I can look at construction. Yeah. Technology. Well, electricity. Survival skills. Prisoners? Yeah, I think all the prison. All the prisoners are from Bacillus too. And of course, Crow's from Bacillus too. Mono was a researcher. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. And then Moray was... Yeah, okay. Julie is actually surprising. Alright, let's continue. Came straight to the Outer Rim after that? Yeah. If I wanted to change the Outer Rim, I figured I had to live here myself. You were surprised at what troubled you the most while living here. It wasn't the thugs picking fights because you were an outsider or living in a house without a ceiling, which you've never experienced before. Nor was it the thieves that tried to enter whenever you closed your eyes. It was the fact that there was no light. Aside from the faint glow of the Dome of Eternity seeping in from beyond the massive barrier, there was no light in the Outer Rim, so I decided to change that first. When I began, I noticed there were a bunch of wires everywhere that didn't seem to be used for anything. Ironically, you're doing exactly what your mom was saying to do, though. You're making your own way here. Capable of drawing power, though, so getting electricity wasn't difficult. The challenge was finding someone in the Outer Rim who'd done electrical work before. Okay, is that who's doing this now? We gathered bowls from the landfill that could still be used and installed them one by one. It's so bright. That's real light. What's the big deal? Why are you making a fuss over a few light bulbs? They're too bright, I say. You're the person who's giving up. Your eyes will get used to the brightness. This may be the Outer Rim, but we're still human beings and deserve to live in the light, don't we? Suppose that's true. I think we need to start trying to live more like people. After all, we're humans, even if we may not live in the Ark. After that, I installed lights along what was considered the main street. Gradually, people began gathering under the light. And eventually... Boss. Huh. They're all acknowledging you as the boss. And that wasn't all. I want to live somewhere more light. I want to see a brighter world. I want to feel the world beyond the partition. They started saying these kinds of things to me. Figured that since I was the one who brought these people together, I had to respond to them. So I shouted. That's a shame. What happened? Let's prove to the world that we're alive and show them that we are people. One day we shall cross that partition into a world overflowing with light. Let's ascend back into heaven. That's a good cause. Oh, I'm guessing this is it? I see. But the more I hear, the less I understand. Yeah, why did you resort to that? Everything you said sounds, far removed from that. You're right. That wasn't how we operated in the beginning. At first, we were almost like a neighborhood watch group just trying to make the Outer Rim a better place to live. We made people in the Outer Rim get jobs. It could be any kind of work, even the darker kind. No matter what it was, we made a rule that if you worked, you received compensation. Some gangs liked us, others hated, but we approached all the established crime bosses the same, trying to settle matters by whatever means possible and then form tactical alliances with them. Oh, you brought them into the fold. We made an agreement with them to protect one another, and that became our greatest source of strength at the time. Once word spread that they were backing us, smaller gangs fell in line a bit more. Then they started protecting homes for that, which was the world Neon grew up in. It's all coming together. Slowly but surely, the Outer Rim gradually stabilized. Again, it's a shame you did all that good stuff. Time had finally come to speak with the Ark. We may have still been living in a landfill, but at least we're living like humans, and they said it was time we showed the Ark that, so we tried. We secretly crossed the partition, put up posters, and shouted slogans. The Outer Rim isn't a landfill. There are many people who live there. Right now, there are many people who are living amidst garbage without ever seeing a single ray of light. Your attention can bring light to the people of the Outer Rim. It can bring a new future to the children growing up there. Bring light to the Outer Rim. Bring light to the outlaws. Huh. We focused on raising our voices. Yeah, if you get caught. Oh, not back then? Really? Security wasn't as tight. Also, outlaws weren't considered a threat back then. But that also means there was no one willing to listen. Right now, there are many people who are living amongst garbage without ever seeing a single ray of light. Your attention can bring light to the people of the Outer Rim. Who hit you? Nah. Bro, first off, you can't stand the noise? The Ark needs a massive reform. You can tell so many people have not been punched in the face. Verbal and physical abuse felt almost preferable to nothing. At least it meant they were listening. The real problem was how the majority of people were so indifferent. Everyone pretended not to hear, just staring at their phones as they walked past. What are you doing in the middle of the street? Excuse me. You made eye contact? You can't put on your old gear or your Elysian attire and say something? You probably lost it. Felt like you were shouting into the void. Yeah. Okay. You sent dozens, even hundreds of them. They agreed to a meeting, but no one's here? Did we get the date wrong? No. This is the right date. After that happened several times, we got the message. No matter how much we petitioned them, they would not meet you. They would not listen. We grew more and more exhausted until a certain someone proposed something. Is that Crow? No way? Yeah. My number 2 most disliked person in this game. Well, actually, I don't know if I can say that anymore. We got some competition. Some heavy competition. But at the very least, I don't know, like, the Rapture Queen seems to be doing. The Rapture Queen has no reason to ally with us. You know? The Rapture Queen's doing what the Rapture Queen does. But Mirror, Liverin, Crow, all were originally human. We'll put on the grand fireworks show. One they can't possibly ignore. And Crow's logic made zero sense. I think that's the thing. Like, you know what? I gotta say, as much as I say about Red Shoes and Mirror, I can at least see their logic. As much as I hate to say it. And there are certain characters that I just don't like, and I'm like, I want them written out the story. Yeah, that's what it was. Mirror, Red Shoes, I can't help but respect their game. I have to, like, she hurt some of my favorite characters, but at the end of the day, it's like, but she was flawless in her execution. It, like, literally, we only caught on to Red Shoes because Red Shoes allowed us. Who knows when we'll even get a whiff of what Mirror is doing. The only one who knows that is Nayuta, but Mirrors and Red Shoes are competent, incredibly so. 6-0, jury's still out on 6-0. And Liverin got the chances after chances after chances. But Crow, when I was starting at the beginning of the game, Crow had so much plot armor. There were so many times where Crow should have been taken out the game. And that's why I think what really got the hatred of Crow is not just the fact that she was frustratingly evil. It's also that Crow was being allowed to live much longer than she should have. It's like, we should have already beaten you several times. In fact, there was one case in particular. She ran into one of my favorite teams, and she is responsible. Crow blew up their train, killed people that they cared about. And when they had Crow in their sights, she was allowed to walk away. I didn't want Diesel to become a killer, but still. It's like after all that. Anywho. So that, let's add another point. It's because of Crow that heavily ascension straight from their path. Harper has my respect, despite what happened. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and the dev said I'm playing with fire. I understand. We'll finish right now. Let's begin the bullet fire. Yeah, that part. You don't see. That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, it's possible that someone could have vouched for Crow who was also. That's possible. Just still. Yeah, that makes sense. Really? She patrolled the Outer Rim with us and went to the Ark to demand better rights. And without hesitation to places other members avoided. And withstood all the physical and verbal abuse, even the indifference. The reason I thought of her as a comrade despite our philosophical differences. So that's why you said thank you before. I'm just going to reiterate, due to EH's way of looking at things, which I respect, she considers herself as bad as all the other criminals. So she would see herself as bad as Crow. I want to make that very clear. I do not think that is the case. But it is true that the bomb that let Nihilister into the Ark, I can see how EH would really say there's really no difference between me and Crow. I can see that. Yeah. At some point, stop being quiet and started speaking up, raising her voice, and expanding her influence. While I was away from the Outer Rim to meet with the central government, she built a small faction inside Heavily Ascension. That's how much influence she'd gotten. So you two talked about it? Are you out of your mind? See that look too, that smug look? And again, it's just somebody should have taken care of you a long time ago. Why are you getting all so worked up? No, that's exactly what it is. The Ark is so bright that it can't seem to see us, those of us who are living in the darkness. It's just saying we should let out some fireworks to help them see better. Yeah, don't make it try to seem harmless. Harper actually used fireworks earlier. Yes, it is. You want to sneak bombs into key central government facilities and detonate them. Is that what happened with... Is Infinity Rail... I don't think I fully explained it, but Infinity Rail, I think, were killed by Crow and became Nikke's after that because they were manning the train, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Why should we care? Because the only people you're mad at is the big wigs. Think anyone in the Ark cares about us, about how many die of sickness, or how many children going blind because there's no light, or how many are killed by explosives that got mixed in with the trash? We screamed our lungs out, but they didn't care one bit. It's the same thing. Are people dying from sickness or accidents? Yeah, it isn't the same as outright murder. Unlike us, the Ark has a super high-performance AI managing everything. You've lived there before? We all know you came from the Ark. The others didn't know. Yeah, of course. See, that's the ironic thing, though. She's proof that her method can work. She just needs to talk to the right people. Are you? How much you changed since you came here? How could I not? You're a good person. Even I know that. The other single person in the Outer Rim who hasn't benefited from your efforts. We know how hard you try. That's why we all followed you this whole time, including me. That never happened with anyone else. You threw everything away and came to the Outer Rim with nothing, then lived alongside us for years and brought light to this dump that had been covered in darkness. What resulted from the improvements? Improvements resulted from that. And again, you're talking to the wrong people. Before you can get to the higher ups, you gotta change the lower people. If they can, like, campaigning on the side isn't the way, they just needed better methods. They just need more people, because again, there are Harpers in the Ark, to see their plight, and then eventually things to catch on. No one listens to you. No one remembers you. Why? Because it isn't sensational enough. No, of course, doing that will get a lot of people to listen. But there is a proper way to do things as well. That's why I always say, it's not just your intention that matters, it's how you go about doing it as well. Their lives are peaceful and they've had so much handed to them since birth that you can ask them sweetly and kindly as you want, even raise your voice. They won't so much spare you again. Harper's one example. If it isn't sensational, they dismiss it as boring, couldn't care less. What are you trying to say? How does all this lead to us becoming terrorists? You're not in charge. We can still do what you want and go into the Ark and tell them what we think. Add a little spice to your words. If they find the bombs before they go off, the Ark wins. No. Seeing how they already have so much and we have so little. Tiny handicap. They'll finally start listening to what we have to say. They'll just wipe you all out. Make harsher rules. You just made things worse. Whenever you want somebody to listen to what you have to say, you need to come at them on their level first. And then try to draw them into what you're saying. I took speech and debate. That's why when I actually make discussion videos, I use those techniques. And why you rarely will hear me, I don't know if people notice, but despite how I feel, I won't always say, if I see something in comments that people are wrong. I just try to look for what they're talking about, try to see things from their point of view. And sometimes I'll find out, oh, that's what they mean. It doesn't work all the time, but that's what you gotta do. If you want, you can't just beat somebody up and, force, not in this. Force is not the way. It would never be the way. Nah. Yes, exactly. So you did it to try to manage things? She spoke in a way to rile others up, highlighting how we were together in this and sugarcoating her word. Yes, exactly. She's an agitator. And that's honestly, I think that explains it well. Red Shoes and Mirror, they weren't an agitator. They were just a stone cold villain. Like, agitated isn't the word I would use for them. I think that fits well with Crow, agitation, because the Crow shouldn't have been a real threat. Compared to the threats we have now, we could have easily stopped Crow, and Crow should have been stopped. I wonder if EH had let Crow go off on her own, if Crow would have, it might have hurt EH's view in her people's eyes, and maybe Crow could have been seen as a martyr. It might have been too late. the movement might have already been started. And now the idea is in the people's heads, because again, this is the Ark. You could consider their history to be, once the Ark was sealed, that's now the history that they have, the history they experienced. As Forbidden Library is more proof of that. So rebellion or anything like it probably hadn't even entered their eyes until just now. Yeah, that's when you realize something, boss. What we need isn't to throw a tantrum like timid children. We need a there we go. And I still say that was the wrong thing to do here. It'll never happen if we do things your way, will it? That's why I'm gonna do it instead. You have to put a stop to it. No, I can't allow that. What you said... Wait. Your way is peaceful and uneventful. It's never gonna stir up the people of the Ark. I understand wanting to give them a shock. People might actually remember our name if we do, but... Yes. All we'd be doing is giving them the go-ahead to shoot every one of them. And see, I hate this. I've seen this so many times in media, where the boss is being logical and saying how things are going to happen, but their emotions are high, so they're not going to listen. They're going to come with a reason on why their boss is wrong. But that's exactly true. That's exactly true. Like you said, we have nothing compared to them. That goes for firepower too. True. If they get serious and come here for blood, we'd be lucky to escape, never mind defend ourselves. It wouldn't even be a fight. Of course, we'd all have snuck into the Ark before, so we might be able to flee there. What about everyone else in the Outer Rim? The children. Oh, okay. Maybe that'll get people to stop. The sick, the elderly. Who's gonna protect them? And it's not just the central government. The reason we were able to make a pact with Underworld Queen wasn't because we were so determined that we'd shed blood for our cause, rather because we were protesting peacefully for our rights. So you'd also lose their help. All the order we spent years establishing would collapse. Order, huh? That's why I'll never approve of your plan. So I'm guessing Crow did something based on the title of this section. And based on what you're saying, I didn't say it, but I applaud you. I applaud you for that response. For everyone's sake. You say you're afraid the central government will set their sights on all outlaws, but that's easy enough to solve? We just changed what we've been shouting this whole time? What do you mean? Stop saying bring light to the Outer Rim, bring light to the outlaws. Instead, we make sure they know it's us. You came up with the slogan. We change our slogan. Then the government won't target everyone in the Outer Rim. That's wishful thinking. I mean, not completely, but there's some in the government that would use the example or the chance to wipe you all out. Is it worth the risk? Well, you're the boss. I get what you're worried about. Pretend I didn't say anything. Thanks for understanding. Now, the way you saying that's a threat in itself. But there's one thing you should know. Not everyone's like you. They don't all worry about the other people in the Outer Rim. And they're not all that patient either. Yeah. You should. You look around the room, a few people glance toward the door. Yeah. Please do. You had a gut feeling, though, that her plan couldn't be stopped. From that day on, they split into two factions. Okay. Yeah, Crow led the Hardliners. Alright, that makes sense. For now, you're both still on the same side. We at least know why everyone chose the way they did, and the Heartliners didn't cross the line. But as you feared, yeah, they started getting more and more extreme. What did they do? They only changed the location? Son of a mother, it's them. It's them. A large-scale terrorist bombing has occurred on the AFX train operated by Elise. Was your mother on that train? The incident took place as the train was entering the train station platform. Explosion, which came from within the passenger cars, not only destroyed the train, but also caused the station structure to collapse, resulting in a terrible tragedy. They've deployed numerous Nikkes to the site to conduct rescue operations, but due to the extent of the collapse, the number of casualties continues to rise. A passenger on the train stood up, pulled the detonator, and shouted the following just before activating it. The AFX incident. Yeah. Yes. I see. Using your slogan. Or using Crow's slogan. Okay, just to remind people who... Or not remind, because you haven't even seen them in any event that I've recorded so far. Yeah.
Won't you go with me for a walk today?
Infinity Rail.
What do you think, Commander? I've come a long way, haven't I?
Diesel was the one in question who had Crow in her sights. That should have been the end of it. But again...
I wonder if my little brother will be as outstanding as you.
I do not... For Diesel to have that on her conscience is probably for the best. It was the three of them. Let me see if I can find... Where's Diesel? I'm pretty sure she was the one who mentioned it. Let's see, in the memorial. And here's it, the area in color. Or, heck, why am I going here? I can do better. That event shouldn't be too hard to find. Yeah. This is it.
That was quick. Have you been watching me this entire time?
No. We caught the signal.
What signal?
AZX has the ability to neutralize detonation signals. It can catch and prevent thousands of detonation signals, and it can trace them as well.
Was that added after the incident?
Letting this train explode once was one time too many.
Yeah.
Won't happen again.
Yeah.
You're well prepared.
Are you Crow from Exotic? Why are you doing this?
Am I supposed to talk just because you've got a gun in my face?
Just answer the question.
I'm not telling you anything.
All right, let's try this again. Do you know about the AFX train?
I do.
Is that all you have to say?
I don't know what you want to hear.
Were you the one who sabotaged AFX the previous time?
Yeah, they do talk about it.
Guilty as charged.
See, after that, that's all that needs to be said.
Diesel!
And yeah, she fired around Crow's feet.
So it was you. Damn you. All those people. My brother.
See, you see the stakes? You see the stakes?
You're sick. You people, you all are. Every last one of you. All of Elysian.
What are you talking about?
Every female who died in that attack was turned into a Nikke to work for the railway.
Yep, including the 3 you see.
If that's not in poor taste, I don't know what is. You're all being duped and you don't even know it. They're using your own memories against you and making you their puppets.
Are you finished?
Are you going to kill me?
Yes.
I wish that were true.
Why? Payback.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen, darn it. But yeah, I don't need to spend more time on Crow. Yeah, I'm never gonna be cool with Crow, ever. I don't care what, like, I understand. I have, especially after seeing this, my opinion of Harper keeps going up. But Crow, nah. Just as Crow predicted, after the AFX incident, it began spread across the entire arc. The things we shouted, which no one ever listened to, finally spread everywhere. They began to recognize that people live in the Outer Rim. Soon as public opinion started to deem the central government's initial response as inadequate, the government got in touch with us saying they want to enter negotiations. What kind of negotiations? Yeah, it's doubtful. One thing governments don't like to do is negotiate with terrorists. Yeah. They were aware only a small number of us were behind it and that we could bring as many armed guards as we wanted if we were uneasy. Oh, nah. Your mother wasn't on the train. Your mother's who got you to come. Not gonna lie, I don't know how close you felt you were with your mother, but I would consider that she thought you were dead to her as soon as you left. In other words, that's no longer your mother. But I can't blame you for wanting to trust your mom. We figured the attack had already happened and sitting around wasn't going to change anything. How do you think it went? Yeah, not very well. Why do you think that? In theory, well, Crow's crazy, but bingo. It didn't end well. It was a trap. Yep, that's what I thought. She wants to get rid of you. That's not surprising at all. I know the type. When we made it to the conference room, it was soldiers? Yeah, I thought so. They're like, bring armed guards. We're gonna record this to show the people what you're going to do when we try to make peace offerings. That's exactly how they're gonna spin it. Now I should be wise to this now. All right, this is late in our career. Well, the meeting room door opened. They started firing before we even had a chance to react. And that storm of bullets. And that's right, you're human now. So everybody there died. And it could have been the end for you. They didn't even try to pretend. You should be dying with them. Get it together, boss. You have to live. That's the only way their deaths will mean anything. Oh, that must be the guy who's doing this. Everyone who went to that meeting that day died. Everyone except me and the man who jumped out the window with. Nah, Harper, I hope you have something, some kind of, well, you already are going through redemption arc. You are the perfect definition of somebody who deserves one. That's terrible. Yeah, nothing could stem the tide. It's over. Or trying to be, yeah. Not only did a majority of moderates defect to the hardliners, but the remaining moderate became grounds for being labeled a traitor. Some are being treated like guards for so long, the betrayal from being deceived into the approaching negotiation table, the desire for revenge on behalf of the comrades we lost. Take all those negative emotions and combine them with the precedent that Crow has set, and yeah, there was nothing you can do. Especially since you were the one who convinced people to go to that meeting. You know what started with you, that you're the one who pulled the trigger when you said you leave the outer rim toward the light. So that's the bullet that was fired. That sucks! No, that's an understatement. That might be... I'm trying to think of all the fates we've had in this game. No wonder. When we first meet EH, I just got the vibe. I'm like, why do you seem like a good person? Like, you don't seem like the type of person that I would associate with these actions. Dare I say you had no choice? Well, I mean, no, you still had a choice of, standing down, but then would you have lived long after that? And again, trying to make the destruction as less as possible, or try to steer it some kind of way, keep one hand on the wheel, might have been the best option there. That's definitely, question of the day. What would you have done if you were EH in that situation? As of right now, all those actions have happened. You're now the leader. You just lost a bunch of people. Your mother betrayed you. What would you do? Or if not, what would you do? What do you think the right thing to do would have been? If there even was a right thing to do. A leader who survived by hiding behind the bodies of her comrades. Did your mother ever contact you again? Yeah, no. Really? Interesting. Yeah, I was starting to think, I was like, do you no longer want to be called Harper? Having become a powerless leader, incapable of doing anything, I wasn't able to make decisions. Yeah, that makes sense. Your leader only in name. Crow is the one in charge. That's pretty much how things were. Yeah. Until the attack on the Ark that blew a hole in the dome. Wait. No, that's not the one that... Wait, am I mistaken? Are they calling the Dome of the Ark the Dome of Eternity? I thought it was the barrier that separated... Oh, I might have been getting confused. I thought you were going to elaborate more, but... Does that answer your question? Yeah, I think that's enough. I appreciate your honesty. Nah, no cap. I wouldn't mind having EH on my team. Nah, they need EH here. They do. They do. Because now that you told me everything, I definitely trust you to handle things in the Outer Rim to make sure things don't get too bad. I can imagine. You really appreciate us listening? Nah, you're the exact type of person. You have a great heart. You have a fantastic heart. And that's what I look for among everything else. You stand, you wait here a sec. Do you ever regret it? I don't think so. Oh, dang it! It's the guy. Turn toward the sound. It came from over there, right? Yeah. Stay here, okay? I'll be fine. They came down. Did they blow up the floor? Sounds like them, I'm assuming. We're here. Get back. Yep. More explosives. Again, I'd be fine. Not that I want to blow up, but... Actually, that's a question. If I was blown up from the inside, would I still survive? Like, we need to know those things. A bomb. Yeah. You couldn't have, like, just put a rope or something? You're later than I expected. When I saw the tracker, I figured you'd come right away. Oh, really? We have to make a pit stop somewhere? Oh, you found the guy? Doesn't look like cold storage. Guess I figured this was the best place to jam any possible tracking signals. What tracker? Wait, he put one on us? Attach a small cube no bigger than my pinky nail. When did you... See? That's exactly why we don't give it... We are too high profile now, all right? We can't just be making everybody happy. We gotta consider our station. What boost? The handshake. Yes. I still think we could have gotten out. Just all the agent needed was another person. She could launch us up, and then we could just let you know. And you also saw where we fell. Helped you all. Oh, but that is true. We fell in a pit, but he could have taken us anywhere. Sure, but... I guess. Yes, we are good. Sure, I'll say that for now. Don't mention it. Yeah, now that I will thank you for. That's the pit stop you mentioned. You went and caught him. Really? Yeah, I'll come too. Yeah, I'd like to hear what he would say. I want to know why he did it. We go upstairs. Yeah, let's have him talk. Is it him? It's been a while. Melon? You got a good memory for a traitor? Didn't know you were still alive. Last time I looked for you, I couldn't find you anywhere, so I thought you were dead. Huh. Yeah? Why'd you do this? 'Cause I resent you. Couldn't believe you come a government lapdog. You are our boss. Why? That hurts. I know that's gotta hurt. During the attack on the Ark, you should just let yourself get blown up along with the surface elevator. I mean, that is a line I can say. There's nothing here that you already haven't heard. It's fine. You just... Then you wouldn't feel so betrayed. Someone had to take responsibility. You lived through it too. You saw for yourself the horror we inflicted in the name of terrorism. No matter how it starts, no matter who incites it, no matter what the justification, as soon as the wrong methods are used, the message loses all. See, we're on the same page here. We are exactly in sync on this situation. A name can be branded into history, but our cause lost all its legitimacy. We dressed them up on the name human rights movement, but all those terrorist attacks were nothing more than violent crimes. Crimes that brought the death and destruction of a whole lot of innocent people. We can realize that we were wrong and regret it all we want, but there's no change in the wrongs we committed. It doesn't ease the pain that the victims suffered. There needs to be someone have to atone? Because pain and... yeah, don't ever go away. All those crimes were committed in the name of Heavenly Ascension, so I thought it was only right that I take responsibility for them. Atone, huh? All by yourself? You're not the one that started it. You're the one who found it? Yeah. I will say, if there is one thing that might have been the best thing to do, well, not best thing. The only way to stop that, I think, would be to eliminate Crow before Crow got too popular. But that's with hindsight, and that line of thinking is also dangerous. Just taking out problematic people. So... or another one could have been to distance yourself and try to fight Crow physically. Yeah, going to the meeting was the mistake, I think. Up until that point, no, I think honestly the damage was done when Crow did what she did. They were gonna lump you in with Crow regardless. It's unfortunate. And who ultimately decided to go to that meeting where so many of our people died? Yeah, it was all me. I realized that since I'm the one who started this, I should be the one to end it. By the time I made that decision, my body was already dying. And that's the reason you became a Nikke. I respect that. I think you should move on to one last question. In your entire life, has there ever been a time, even just once, where you regretted coming to the Outer Rim instead of taking over Elysium? That would make sense. You have more regrets than you can count, but yeah. You helped people, regardless of how things turned out. That was a net positive. You should leave Heavenly Ascension. Admit that what we did was wrong and cast off your past life. That's the price you have to pay. Really? Oh, he's gonna blow himself up. Huh. Well, now that's a statement. Light is alright. Heavenly Crow got to you too. I can't blame him for thinking like that. Again, once you were in that situation, it is tough to say what the right call would be. We heard of where Melon had been. Only debris. It's a shame because he was a good guy. A lot of people who are good people. Like they said, it only takes one bad apple to ruin a whole batch. For a brief moment. Yeah. Sorry to keep you all waiting. You don't have to apologize. Let's get going. I'll take you outside. Okay. We walk to the barrier. What's up? You don't understand? Are we hungry or something? I don't think Jackal can comprehend. Wait, what's wrong? Is something there? Gunpowder? Is this dangerous? Nah, fam, don't tell me that's the kid that EH was showing to not to play with dynamite. A sparkler? Do you blow it up? It's a sparkler. You light it like this. That's the image? I mean, I suppose that's the thing. All right. And it shines like this. They're not exactly those two kids that you were showing, though. It's so pretty. It's nice. Never thought I'd see one of these in the Outer Rim. Yeah. Nostalgia and regret. These are the only fireworks you should be lighting. The only lights. Yeah, I get it. You want to light it? Not for you all, though. I wouldn't think. What's up? If you ever get blinded again while chasing after the light and end up setting fire to something that isn't meant to burn, I won't have to do that. But sure. Yeah, I don't think that day will ever come because I'm positive you won't forget. Yeah. There is no way. I would say you are being mind controlled before I believe you actually did that. Okay. Instead, I'm just gonna watch and support you as you return. Yes. Yeah, I like that, Ant. That was much better than mine. That's more than enough. Nah. Okay, now I can get everything. And now we've got... I've seen it already, so I'm good. You have my respect, EH. But one more thing, we're not done. And actually, let me switch.
Are we going to play? Where at?
I haven't seen what the map looks like. Whenever I do stuff like this, it always... No, it's just normal. There should be one more scene. And I wanted to save it.
Woo! I won! Oh, right. Gym rats, don't forget to scratch.
A little bit. How's our injury? It healed up a while ago. Yeah. You see. I got a whole different look on you now, too. Can you tell me what happened? I wondered... We're lucky Ingrid's in charge. We are. Yeah. You, of all people, I think, should get that report. Yeah. There really was still someone heavily sentient, but he took his own life. Yeah, so it's all good. And yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think so. Now you have all the information. What do you think of EH? Do I have a choice? I am not. No. If you choose to, well, it's your right. It's your right. But one. I can't press one enough. A victim? Yeah. Not necessarily. Well, see, it's interesting that we're taking that stance. Oh no, it's not. It's not. EH skimmed over everything that happened. The stuff she did afterwards. But again, I don't... Well, like I said, she did have a choice. It might have resulted in her dying, but that still wasn't... Or she could have snuck back to the ark. Well, nah. Her mother tried to kill her. It literally became a war at that point. It's more complicated to that, and there's something tragic to it as well. Yeah. The hole in the ark was big. A lot of people fell due to that. Yeah, I believe that's sincere. All right. Well, well, it's my word. So even though you're the one who wrote it, you're saying that we did it. So shouldn't we write a report? Great work. I stand to leave the room. What's up? You're gonna do something? Okay. What the heck you gonna do? Forget what? Do you understand? Yeah, I understand. I thought that's what you were gonna do, but why? Yeah, what are you doing? Oh. Gotcha. If anything, even if it wasn't for EH herself, we at least could have owed you that. That is all. Sure, it won't ever leave my lips, but I'll remember that. You're welcome. For what? Yeah, see you around. Yeah, we'll never forget that. Both Elysian CEO and someone's older sister. Never did I imagine.
The way's clear now. Let's go.
I'm glad you at least showed up for the last one. Let me do something before we end this off. Oh, nah. Okay, first let me fix that. I think I have one free spot left. Yeah, but it's okay. I think the next time I use it, it'll be for a good cause. But I gotta do that.
I'll do everything I can to prove that your trust in me is not misplaced.
And then... Where are you? Oh yeah, at the bottom. I believe... Do I have some of your... Yeah, I would have never used these. Yeah, nah. Nah, I wouldn't have used them. First in advice... Children who are born and raised here never get to see a clear sky. Do you think that chance will ever come to them? I'm gonna say number one. I mean, yeah, like, honestly, at the point I'm at, I'm pretty close to being able to say, yeah, we need to work on the Outer Rim. That's a condition for my help. We can do that. That's one of the easiest problems to fix now with our... See, that was the issue. That was what I said her solution needed to be. She needed to find the right person who would care, who had the power to do something. But let's just go ahead and I'm gonna use all those for you.
You really are an incredible person. You actually might just be able to change the world.
Huh. That's funny. And then... Oh, yeah, that works.
I think I understand why so many Nikkes rely on you. Your words and actions naturally inspire trust.
Okay. Let's go back. And...
I thought I could change the world and save people. I was so blinded by this sense of duty that I couldn't even see the terrible things I was doing.
I think it's a little bit more than that.
There are no shortcuts when you're trying to walk the right path.
Yeah.
I understand that now, which is
Yeah.
why I'm just doing my best. I thought I could change the... Thank you for trusting me, even after everything that's happened. As I move forward, I won't forget the weight of my sins.
Those fit for after the story. So, like I said, question of the day. What would you have done if you were in EH's position? Like I said, I think mine not going to that meeting probably would have been a good start. You would have to... We have a lot of hindsight. You didn't. Also, I think this attire kind of fits now. You having the hat kind of hiding your face, that makes sense, I think. Compared to how you were before. With that being said, please everyone, post your thoughts about the Heavenly Ascension arc down in the comments below. And I will see you all for whatever we have in store next time.